endless forests, vast deserts, towering mountains, and lonely islands. This land has many places that can truly be described in words. Somewhere nowhere. But these places in the middle of nowhere don't always have to be deserted and boring. Even the most remote and lonely areas of this earth can hold incredible surprises. And in this video we present 10 of them. Before moving on to the first discovery made in the middle of the loneliest desert on the planet, we want to invite you to subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell, because this way you will never miss one of our latest videos again. If you like the video, we will be happy for you to share it and recommend it to your friends. Now we go directly to the Sahara Desert, one of the supposedly most desolate and abandoned areas of land on Earth. Not long ago people found something that was really not of this world. Lunar meteorite in the Sahara. In 2020, a man discovered a strange stone in the Sahara. They took the piece and had it examined by experts, and it turned out that this stone was actually an extremely rare lunar meteorite. When rocks from outer space collide with the moon, both parts of the meteorite and parts of the lunar rock are thrown toward Earth. And we are glad for these extraterrestrial visitors. Lunar meteorites are coveted collector's items on Earth, and like the world's most expensive diamonds, they are given names. The Sahara lunar meteorite was named Aetolitis 001. Only much later was it discovered that Aetolitis 001 was not just any lunar meteorite, as this piece of rock contained a completely new mineral to which researchers gave the name Donwilliamsite. It is composed of calcium, aluminum, silicon and oxygen atoms, and is a high-pressure mineral. Although the rock has certain chemical similarities with the rocks of our continents, it is unique in its formation. High pressures and very high temperatures are necessary, in the same way that meteorite impacts on the moon produce them. The mysterious sphere of Betz. On March 27, 1974. The Best family saw a small fire in a bush near their home on Jacksonville's Fort George Island. His oldest son, Terry, discovered something that would change the family's life forever, a strange metallic sphere the size of a bowling ball. As a medical student, Terry took it home as a souvenir because of its unusual appearance. The family didn't think much of it until Terry started playing the guitar near her. That's when something strange happened. The ball began to hum and soon after showed other strange characteristics, such as rolling on its own, changing direction and stopping abruptly. Sometimes the sphere vibrates and emits a high-pitched sound that causes dogs to bark and people to cover their ears. This ball, which goes by names such as Best Sphere, Mysterious Sphere or Fantastic Ball, began to gain popularity. The host of a local paranormal radio show validated the Best family's claims that the sphere moved and behaved strangely. He believed that this sphere was of extraterrestrial origin and that it must have been designed by an unknown civilization for an unknown purpose. Ambergris. Although vomiting is common on many occasions, when it comes to whales, the story is different. Whale vomit can be extremely valuable. In September 2021, a fisherman discovered a package of ambergris, also known as whale vomit, on a beach in southern Thailand. This ambergris is a rare and valuable substance used in luxury perfumes. The package found by the fisherman weighed 30 kilos and was worth more than $1 million, which changed his life. Ambergris is formed in the digestive system of whales as a response to the sharp beaks of the squid they eat. It can float in the ocean for years before reaching beaches, where it takes on a unique scent due to exposure to the sun and salt water, making it highly desired by perfume sellers. Although its exact value is difficult to determine, ambergris is considered one of the most expensive things in the world, with prices ranging from a few hundred to thousands of dollars per gram. Drop discs. Beneath the Bayan Karola Mountains, which run through China and Tibet, lies a labyrinth of caves that are mysteriously interconnected. Its origin is unknown and scientists are not sure if it is an artificial or natural formation. Researchers have found inside these caves the buried bodies of some of the most unusual human-like species ever found. These caves were accidentally discovered by a team of archaeologists in 1938. Initially, they thought they had found ape remains. However, it is well known that apes do not bury their dead, so which creature did those strange skeletons belong to? Comparisons have shown that they were neither human nor animal, at least not fully human. The skeleton had small limbs and very thin legs, but compared to their short, weak frames, these creatures had very large heads. A Chinese archaeologist and his team were inspecting the skeletons when they found something even stranger, a circular disc half buried in the cave floor. The disc was made of stone, but it had a hole in the center. On the disc there were inscriptions and a spiral groove around it with 2 rings. Upon closer inspection, it was discovered that these inscriptions appeared to be some type of hieroglyphics. However, this unusual language is not recognized by anyone, and not even ancient writing experts have been able to translate it. Another intriguing discovery are the carvings on the walls depicting the sun, moon and stars linked together by small dotted lines. This discovery raises a question: are these creatures trying to communicate with us? It took 20 years for someone to translate the inscriptions on this album. The doctor announced that he had deciphered these signs as a story, but what he discovered was so shocking that the authorities refused to allow him to share his discovery with the world. More than 700 of these discs have been recovered, according to the doctor. According to him, they tell the story of a space probe that arrived on Earth from another planet and crashed in this region. Supposedly, the ship's inhabitants came from an advanced civilization with peaceful intentions. However, their more hostile neighbors made coexistence difficult and they had to flee to other worlds. The doctor's translation was hidden so that the citizens of Earth would not know that life forms exist in some parts of the universe that we have not yet explored. Stonehenge, a Neolithic monument in the United Kingdom, has intrigued over the centuries. Imagine huge stones standing 4 meters high, weighing a staggering 25 tons each, forming a great circle on Salisbury Plain. Inside, a smaller ring embraces 2 vertical stones joined by a horizontal lintel. Stonehenge also has an amazing astronomical alignment with the sunrise during the summer solstice. Its origin and construction, with primitive technology, remain mysteries. The stones are believed to have been placed at the site around 2400 BC to 2200 BC, but how they were transported and lifted remains enigmatic. Stonehenge was probably used as a burial site from 3000 BC, although its exact purpose remains unresolved. Iceman emerges. Glacial archaeology is a relatively new discipline. The ice literally broke during the summer of 1991, when German hikers in the Total Alps spotted a tea-colored corpse half-buried on the Italian side of the Austrian border. At first, he was mistaken for a modern mountaineer who may have died in a climbing accident. But through carbon dating, it was shown that Otzi, the Iceman, as he came to be called, had died about 5,300 years ago. Otzi was a short man with many tattoos and was around 40 years old. He wore a bearskin hat, several layers of clothing made from goat and deer skins, and bearskin shoes with grass-filled soles to keep his feet warm. Iceman's survival gear included a long yew bow, a quiver of arrows, a copper axe, and a sort of rudimentary medicine chest filled with plants with powerful pharmacological properties. A chest X-ray and CT scan showed a flint arrowhead buried deep in Otzi's left shoulder, suggesting he may have bled to death. His murder is humanity's oldest unfinished case. Eye of the Sahara. More than 100 million years ago, an explosion in the Sahara gave rise to the enigmatic Eye of the Sahara. This phenomenon formed when molten rock caused limestone to collapse, forming a rock called a breccia. As time passed, erosion completed the process, creating the Eye of the Sahara with its concentric rings. This geological marker stands out in the middle of the sandy desert. The Eye of the Sahara has generated intriguing theories, such as the possibility that it is the site of the legendary Atlantis, a civilization described by Plato. Similarities between the structure of the Eye of the Sahara and epic descriptions of Atlantis have sparked speculation. According to the narrative of Atlantis, this advanced civilization suffered a tragic end due to its arrogance and conflicts with the Athenians. In the midst of wars and natural disasters unleashed by the gods, Atlantis sank into the sea and disappeared forever. These discoveries in the Sahara continue to challenge scientists and remind us that there is still much to learn about the history and geology of this vast desert region. The Eye of the Sahara is an impressive testimony of past geological events and invites us to reflect on the mysteries and legends that still exist in humanity. The Eye of the Sahara, visible from space, is like a large target and began to emerge when the supercontinent Pangaea broke apart. Different types of rocks, such as carbonates and black basalt, are embedded in the eye, similar to the rock formations in Hawaii. Although the origins of the Sahara Eye remain a mystery, its presence in the desert fascinates scientists and explorers alike. Plato used the story of Atlantis as a parable to convey his ideologies, similar to how the movie Avatar warns about racism and corporate greed. Atlantis was described as a land divided into zones of water and land, an arrangement that coincides with the Eye of the Sahara today. The adjacent mountains were considered sacred and symbolized the divine. The rivers and water lines that cross the eye can be seen in satellite photographs. Ancient artifacts such as ship hulls, surfboards, and spears have been found both inside and outside the Richat structure, estimated to date to the Atlantean era. Christ of the Abyss. This famous underwater statue is located in San Frutuoso Bay, Italy. The statue represents Christ with his arms open and his head held high. It is one of the most impressive places to dive in the entire world. 1 Buddha. In 2018, filmmakers Amanda Sham and Sean Thompson used metal detectors in Shark Bay, Western Australia, and found a rare Buddha statue from the Ming Dynasty, specifically a small baby Buddha statue. This sparked controversy, with some doubting its authenticity and questioning how a Ming Dynasty statue ended up in Australia. The statue, about 15 centimeters high and 1 kilogram of bronze, supposedly from hundreds of years ago in China, sparked speculation about how it arrived in Australia. It is believed to have been carried by Ming Dynasty explorers during the period between 1368 and 1644 AD. And that it was buried about 150 years before its discovery. However, there are skeptical opinions. Although ships are known to have undertaken expeditions in Southeast Asia, there is no conclusive evidence that they reached Australia before European explorers in the 17th century. Some suggest that the statue may have been abandoned by Chinese fishermen in the 1870s as part of a deception. Uncertainty about the true origin of the Buddha could only be resolved by excavations at the site. This discovery illustrates how some archaeological finds can trigger debates and questions about their authenticity and origin.